Hello, my wonderful students. This is the second foldable. This is going to be a double foldable. I know we haven't done these yet, but picture this being a four foldable, but only use the line in the middle, which makes it just a double foldable. This requires a little bit more work. That's why I made it a double foldable, because I couldn't figure out how to fit it as a tri-foldable. I did it a couple times. So double foldable, it seemed to work out a little bit better. So it's the second page of section 5.7, solving rational expressions. So the first one that we're going to look at is this one here. Just zoom in a little bit. There we go. And we have our 1 over x minus 3 plus our 1 over x plus 3 equal to our 6 over x squared minus 9. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break down this here, right? So these are already in their primes. But we see this here, we have an x squared minus 9. And this is also a difference of squares. So this is x squared minus 3 squared, which is the same thing as 9. But I know this is x plus 3 and x minus 3. Okay, so if you see here, we got a new lowest common denominator between all of them. So we're going to find our LCD, which is our lowest common denominator. And like I said earlier, it's actually going to be, since if we multiply them all together here, we would have our common x minus 3 and our common x plus 3. So our LCD here is going to be x plus 3 and our x minus 3. Alright, so we're going to multiply the LCD to everything. And the reason we're going to do that is because we want to clear the fraction. Alright, so we're going to take this whole thing here, and we're going to multiply it by x plus 3 and x minus 3 in order to clear all the fractions out of the way. So let's go ahead and rewrite this. We have our first one would be our x plus 3 times our x minus 3 times our 1 over x it's supposed to be a minus 3. Said minus and wrote plus. Story of my life. Then we have our plus symbol, which is this one here. And then we have our x plus 3 again, and our x minus 3 times our 1 over x plus 3. And then we have our equal sign, and we have our 6 over, I'm going to use the bottom again. So we're going to use the x plus 3 times our x minus 3 multiplied by our lowest common denominator, not alligator, lowest common denominator, which is x plus 3 and x minus 3. Alright, so if you look at it again, it's just here. This is this one here, this is this one here, and this is this one here. And there's an addition in front and a equal sign separating these two. And I'm multiplying all of them by our lowest common denominator, just like I did here. This times this, this times this, this times this. Alright, so now we're going to go through and find all our common factors. For the first one we have here, we have our x minus 3 on top here, and then our x minus 3 on bottom here. We can go ahead and reduce those. Grab a new color to find another one. We have another one here, which is our x plus 3. And then our x plus 3 here as well. Go ahead and reduce those. And we get a purple. We have our x plus 3 here and our x plus 3 here. We go ahead and reduce these as well. And then we get our last color that I have. We have our blue, which is our x plus or minus 3, and our x minus 3 as well here. We reduce those as well. Alright, so now, once we reduce all this here, what we have left is our x plus 3 plus, so x plus 3 times 1, which is x plus 3. Same thing, x minus 3 times 1, which is just our x minus 3, equals to 6. So if we are to distribute out this, x plus x is 2x, and 3 minus 3 is 0, so we don't have to write it out, equal to 6. So we're going to divide by 2, x is equal to 3. So this is our solution. So now we're going to look for our excluded values. Actually, no, let's do our check first this time. do our check. So we're going to check x plus 3. Oh my god. X equals 3. That can't drive me wild. X equals 3. So everywhere we have an x here, we're going to plug in our 3. So we have our 1 over 3 minus 3 plus our 1 over 3 plus 3 equal to our 6 over 3 plus 3 and x minus, oh my god, 3 minus 3. So all the x's. A lot of x's to replace. So we see here this is 1 over, this is our 1 over 0 plus our 1 over 6 equal to our 6 over, what is it, 3 plus 3 is 6, but 3 minus 3 is 0, so 0 times 6 would be 0. And then we already see a problem. What's the problem here? We see that these here are actually undefined. So this cannot work because it's undefined. But you know what? Let's also check our excluded values to make sure we don't get something like that as well. So if we were to look for our excluded values, we would have our excluded values would be these two here, our lowest common denominator. So we'd have our x plus 3. Actually, we're not going to write it like that. We're actually going to just set it equal to 0 so we can find ours. Thanks. We're going to have x plus 3 equals 0. And then our x minus 3 equals 0. So subtract 3, subtract 3. X is equal to negative 3. We're going to add 3 here, add 3 here. We're going to have x is equal to 3 because these reduce. So that means that x cannot equal negative 3 or 3, which is a big no-no already because we got our x was equal to 3. Alright, so the denominator, so these are the excluded values because, so I just put BC slash for because, when x is equal to negative 3 and 3, the denominator goes to 0, thus making the expression undefined. And we found the same thing here. You know, we got undefined. Let's go ahead and box this, our excluded value, because it's very important. And let's go ahead and write our expression for, or the conclusion for the expression. So the expression becomes undefined at x equals 3. Okay, because when x equals 3, we saw we got 0 here and 0 here, so it's undefined. Therefore, it is an extraneous solution. So the other ones we did so far, we had 2 that were not extraneous solutions. Now we have 2 that are extraneous solutions. So if we have an extraneous solution, that means thus there is no solution. Okay, go ahead and box this up. I'm going to put no here in red as well. No solution. I'm going to box this out here too. Okay. Alright, so that was part 1 of the second foldable.